Ladies and gentlemen, we have title update numero ocho coming out today here on this fine January 29th. Happy Monday to everybody. Hope everyone's going to have a freaking kick ass week. Title update 8 is live now, Man 24. They acknowledged that they had to fix fatigue in here, which is cool to see. You know, I enjoy when people mess up. They say, hey, we messed up, and here's the fix to what we messed up. I enjoy that. I don't like it when people sweep it under the rug. So, heck yeah. Let's check out these replies really fast. And still time to fix dropped interceptions. How about you guys fix? Oh, God. The replies are not. I should maybe not have scrolled down. No franchise. Okay. Okay. What now? Here is the real question by Goose Lord. Now, the real question is, what did you break by doing this update? All right, let's get into the actual title update here, boys. Let's go all the way to the top. Man NFL 24 title update, January 29, 2024. Hey, man fans. Gridiron notes. Gameplay. They only fixed one gameplay thing, and I have some thoughts about them only fixing one gameplay thing here soon. But first, let's address what they fixed. They fixed a fatigue bug that was causing defensive linemen and linebackers and defensive backs to fatigue inappropriately. And then we have a dev note right here. Let's break this down. This was an undesired artifact from the change that went to effect in a previous title update for pass rushers who were outweighed by a 90-pound or more pass blocker. Okay, that sentence. Title update for pass rushers who were outweighed by a 90 pounds or more pass blocker would fatigue more than expected when engaging in a block. This was intended to impact defenders who are not consistently designated pass rushers like corners and safeties. So essentially, about a month ago, they tried to implement a dollar patch where if a slot corner was blitzing and he engaged with a left tackle, right tackle, or offensive lineman at all, he'd get super fatigued because of the huge weight discrepancy. That honestly wasn't the worst thing ever. I thought it was kind of cool, but it didn't work, and the weight discrepancy made everybody get tired, even like Lawrence Taylor and Micah Parsons, which was a giant patch. So what they did was, in MUT, they turned fatigue off. But in regs and CFM, fatigue was still a giant issue, and you couldn't run a lot of sets. Now, so my question is, does this mean they just reverted it to what it was previously, where you just didn't get that fatigue? Or did they make sure they implemented the caveat correctly? And the caveat was that while there may be a 90-pound discrepancy between a slot corner and an offensive tackle, if that slot corner has 75 finesse move or 75 power move, then he will actually be able to negate that fatigue penalty. So that plays a giant factor, not so much in MUT, but in CFM and Reg. So I'm curious. I have not tested that out. But what I will say is that people have said that this seems to have worked. Yet in MUT, they still do not have fatigue turned back on because they turned it off as a hot fix. I don't even hate that. I mean, it's whatever. It's annoying for people hurrying up, but it's whatever. I think, you know what, I don't care that much. Fatigue's off. I have bigger things to worry about, I guess. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think anybody really complaining about that's kind of like looking for stuff. I think it's just fine. It's whatever. In Madden Ultimate Team, they fixed an issue where all X factors would reset at halftime. They adjusted fixed button functionality when upgrading a player item using an eligible upgrade token, and general stability issues. Always love to see this. And this, I believe, was a big issue with some of those unstoppable X factors, right? You could activate them in the first half. They're supposed to stay activated for the entire game, but instead, they would reset at halftime, which is dumb. The whole point of it was to activate for the entire game because you would literally not be able to activate until like the second quarter, typically. You know, it's kind of hard. And so then they just reset at halftime. They got some superstar mode stuff. The presentation right here, the Pro Bowl game is now the official home of the Madden NFL head-to-head skills competition in the Pro Bowl games. Man, the Pro Bowl game is now the official home of the Madden NFL head-to-head skills competition in the Pro Bowl games. Man, I might just be an idiot, dude, but I feel like a lot of these sentences are written not well. Dev note. This coming Sunday, watch two AFC players compete against two NFC players in our revamped Pro Bowl game to earn their conference 3 points. Virtually, the game takes place at the Coliseum as tribute to Coach Madden. Very cool. So there's gonna be like the way they said in our revamped Pro Bowl game. So I this sounds like the EA has a Pro Bowl game in the game. That's two AFC versus two NFC players, but it says watch. So I think by our they mean the NFL's. I am actually so confused. Is there a Pro Bowl game thing in the in Madden? I don't know. UI fixed an issue where game stats not populate in the pause menu of online head-to-head. I did not see that issue, but good to see. Various stability updates, various player portrait updates. Cool. Some new stuff. And also, boys, worth noting that on January 30th, the Ultimate Madden Bowl presented by Lexus We'll be live, 14 players. We'll have a bunch of breakdowns out on this channel, all that good stuff. You guys can watch out for some Twitch drop tokens, all that good stuff. Now, I do want to point out something. So this is a January 29th update, and the only gameplay update was a little fix to a bug that they brought into the game. And so what I'm wondering is there's kind of two ways we could take this, okay? First and foremost, we could say that they made this as a kind of a special patch to fix this, and they added in some various things as well, right? Or we could take this as they are no longer going to be patching the game and changing the game for the rest of the year. In previous titles, I'm pretty sure we have had actual patches that have changed the game in February, March, and maybe even April. So I can't imagine that's the case, but I can't think off the top of my head the last time I've seen a full title update that has only had one gameplay fix, and especially that gameplay fix is literally a bug that they recently brought in. It's not like an exploit in the game that, you know, meta players are doing, anything like that. What I can say with this, though, is that gameplay, in my opinion, is in a pretty decent spot. Now, something to always take into account, and this is not me being an EA shill, it's just the fact of the matter, is that they try to, you know, have arcade and simulation, all this stuff mixed in with each other. And the fact of the matter is that simulation is kind of an arcade, because if you watch it at real NFL, I mean, the ball hits people in the face and bounces off, and people catch it for touchdowns, aka the Lions game last night. So the NFL is kind of just a giant cartoon half the time. And so they're in a tough spot. But overall, what I'm getting at is that I think gameplay is in a pretty fine spot. I don't mind the game. The A-gap blitzes are easy to block. It's a little bit offensive heavy, but the KOs are pretty decent. But you can avoid the KOs if you get good at the game. I think right now the game, you know, if you get good at it, you can be noticeably good at it and win, you know, more games by getting better at the game, which is, you know, the AKA skill gap. So I don't know. We'll see what they end up doing. I'm kind of curious what next month looks like, because typically they do one a month. Maybe next month will be in March or so. I have no idea. But boys, if you have not subscribed yet, we're trying to hit 20,000. A lot of you guys think you're subscribed and you're not. So I ask you, just take a gander at it. If it says subscribe, that means you're not. So hit that subscribe button. If it says subscribed, past tense, don't hit it, please. Please do not hit it. See you on the next one. Again, trying to hit 20K. Appreciate y'all. Look, boys, losing sucks, but winning is fun. Using the same strategies that I've used to become one of the best Madden players in the world year after year, Civil.gg has been designed with the average Madden player in mind, and it will transform your game overnight, regardless of what game mode you play or how good you are at the game right now. We have helped thousands of Madden players just like yourself win more games, so if you are tired of losing, check out the link in the top of the description and use code PREMIUM for 25% off a yearly or monthly membership.